Oh, hey guys, what's going on? I wasn't sure if we were recording just yet. Just enjoying my lunch. Excuse me. Having a bread sandwich today, given the current state of the markets. In my next video, I'm going to be covering my 5 favorite recession meals, as far as meals you can afford after you invest money in the stock market and lose everything. Okay, now before we get into this video and talk about what could be causing this possible stock market crash or correction, I want to talk about why you should actually care. And the answer is you really shouldn't care at all. So your question might be, why would I bother making this video if I don't care about a market crash and you shouldn't care about a market crash? The reason why I'm making this video is because so many people think they need to care about whether or not the markets are going up or going down, and the truth is, you shouldn't care about what the markets are doing. You need to have strategies in place that allow you to make money when the markets go up, and you also need to be able to make money when the markets go down. So maybe on the way up, you're buying stocks of undervalued companies and selling them at a higher price down the road, or you're buying dividend stocks and you're buying stocks that are going to pay you dividends. Now that's one that could work for both bull markets and bear markets, because if you invest in good companies that have a consistent dividend history, they're going to keep on paying dividends even during a bear market. Or maybe your bear market investing strategy is to bet against the companies that are overvalued, or wait until stocks go on sale and scoop up shares of undervalued companies. Or even better, you don't care about whether or not we are in a bull market or a bear market because you regularly accumulate shares over time, also known as dollar cost averaging. I want to give you guys a comparison here to what this is like, because everyone seems to be freaking out about the fact that we are seeing a market correction taking place. Now, is this the sign of a long-term correction or just a short-term correction where the market is blowing off steam? I have no idea. Does anyone have any idea? Absolutely not. There's no way to sustainably or accurately time the market, and so it's useless to even try doing this. But what I want to show you here is why you need to have a strategy for both the bull markets and the bear markets. So let's say, for example, you live in the Northeast, near where I live. I live in New York. And you have a landscaping company. And so during the summer, you go around with your truck, you rake leaves, you mow lawns, you pull away the clippings. And so you do very well in the spring when people are cleaning up their yards. During the summer, you do the mowing. And during the fall, you do a great business with the raking. And then winter comes along, and what are you going to do if you're a landscaper? Because there's certainly no grass to mow, there's no leaves to rake, nobody is landscaping. You know what you do? You stick a plow on your truck and you push the snow. That is what it is like being an all-season stock market investor, where you understand how to make money when the markets go up and make money when the markets go down. It's like being able to throw a plow on your truck during the winter and push snow, because you know that nobody's interested in having you mow their lawn in the winter, but there's snow that needs to be pushed. You need to be able to do that. You need to be able to transition or pivot into another strategy that will allow you to make money during a down market if that is the case. So do you see people who do landscaping in the Northeast sitting around saying, oh, is winter going to start today? Is winter going to start in a week? Is winter going to start next month? No, they don't. And maybe those who do need to develop a strategy to make money during the winter, but that is the exact same thing you need to do when it comes to investing in the stock market. So that being said, the most important thing that you can do for yourself is educate yourself on some bear market investing strategies. And I'm actually going to be covering that in Stock Radar very soon. That's my weekly stock analysis membership group. Every single week we do an analysis on a particular company. And if we do see a market correction take place, we're going to start to look for good value investing opportunities. Because the thing is, you may see the share price of a company fall, but does the actual underlying or intrinsic value of that company have fall as well? And the answer in most cases is absolutely not. So what you look for is companies that are going on sale as a result of a broad market correction. And if you're a value investor and you're performing fundamental stock analysis, and that's what we do over in Stock Radar, we look at all of the key financial documents, we talk about the moat and the barriers these companies have, the pros and cons. And so you're looking for good, durable businesses, you're looking for good fundamentals, financially healthy companies. And then when the market goes on sale, when you see stock prices fall, that is when you take advantage of that sale and you scoop up shares of undervalued companies. But at the end of the day, the most important thing you can do for yourself is not to sit there at your computer typing away looking for what will cause the stock market crash. The most important thing you can do for yourself is to find a plow for your truck. figure out what you're going to do when the snow falls. Are you going to plow driveways, or are you going to sit there and stare out the window and wait for the snow to melt? So what is possibly causing this stock market crash? There are 7 different factors I want to talk about here, and I'm not saying there's going to be a massive crash here. Like I said, timing the market is of no use. There's no way to successfully or accurately time the market. And if I were to sit here and tell you guys that I think the stock market is going to crash tomorrow or it's going to crash next week, that information should be of no use or value to you, because you know that nobody has access to information that the general public doesn't about what's going on with the markets. And there's no way to sustainably or accurately tell when we're going to see a stock market crash. But if we do see a substantial correction taking place with the market, I believe it is a result of one of these 7 factors or a combination of these things. And again, these are all catalysts that exist in the market right now. 6 months from now, you may watch this video and say I was right. 6 months from now, all of these things may have blown over and you could say this was ridiculous. The first one relates to Trump and his 25% tariff proposed on up to $60 billion worth of Chinese imports. So Trump is very outspoken about his opinion on China and how he thinks we should have a level playing field when it comes to trade. And right now he believes that China has an advantage and he wants to level the playing field by imposing tariffs on imported Chinese goods. And particularly we saw this happen with imported aluminum and steel. Now here's the thing about this situation is that China also buys a lot of stuff from the United States. So what we have here is the potential for a trade war to start, where we're going to start slapping tariffs on imports left and right, and that's going to benefit absolutely nobody. But we have seen China come out now and say they are going to be imposing tariffs on 128 US imports. So what we could potentially see happen here is a pissing match between the United States and China. And I know that might be an offensive term, but that's really all I can think of to explain this. You're not going to see China just back down. We're not going to say, okay, we're going to slap tariffs on Chinese imports, and they're just going to say, sure, that's fine, no problem, yeah, no big deal. They're going to do the exact same thing to the US imports. They're very outspoken about this, and they said they're going to be coming at the United States with the same exact severity as we are coming at them. And this really makes no sense at the end of the day because, for example, think about the iPhone. The iPhone is assembled in China with parts that are made all over the world. So does it make sense to slap a tariff on something like that if the actual components and hardware are not being manufactured in China? They're assembling this phone in China, and then to ship it to the United States, they're going to have to pay some kind of tariff. This just doesn't make any sense to me. And the whole idea of tariffs, in my opinion, interrupts with the free market. And so I don't understand the point of these tariffs. I'm certainly not supportive of them, but we do have a big potential here for a trade war to be started with the United States and China. Now, how does this trade war immediately affect the market? Well, first of all, let's talk about Boeing. Boeing was the top performing stock on the Dow Jones Industrial Average in 2017. It is one of the darlings of Wall Street right now. But you know what is very interesting about Boeing is that 25% of their deliveries in 2017 were to China, and about 20% of their backlog is from Chinese customers. So Boeing is caught in the middle here with this potential trade war, where one of the first things that China could slap a tariff on is commercial airplanes. And who is the biggest producer of commercial airplanes as far as the US exports go? It's going to be Boeing. So immediately as a result of this potential trade war with China, we saw Boeing stock go into a fear-driven sell-off because people were afraid that China was going to directly go after Boeing as their first retaliation. And when you see a bellwether for the market, a bellwether for the Dow Jones Industrial Average go into a sell-off, that is when you're going to start to see people in the market become fearful, and you're going to see a broad market correction taking place. Now, on top of that, we are seeing that Trump tweeted about leveling the retail playing field as well. He's saying that Amazon is not a business people can compete with. Retail storefronts are going out of business. This is negatively affecting the post office. And so again, we saw shares of Amazon go into a sell-off. Amazon, again, being one of the darlings of Wall Street right now. But why is this such a big deal? Again, Amazon is one of these bellwether stocks. It's one of these darlings of Wall Street, one of these stocks that have just been doing so well over the last couple of years. And when you're seeing a massive sell-off taking place with this stock, it's going to cause a broad market correction. And then we tie in what is going on with Facebook and this Cambridge Analytica scandal. Now, members of my stock radar group, you guys heard all about this. We did like a 30-minute analysis on Facebook and talked all about this scandal. But essentially, data ended up in the wrong hands as a result of Facebook's privacy policies with data, and people are really, for the first time, stepping back and saying these big data companies need to be stopped with the amount of data they're collecting on us and also what they are doing with that data. And so as a result, we saw a massive sell-off taking place with Facebook stock, another one of the largest companies in the stock market, another one of the bellwethers of the market. I mean, guys, think about the fact that FANG composes of Facebook, Amazon, Apple, Netflix, and Google. We saw a sell-off with Google taking place as a result of what's going on with Facebook because they're another gigantic digital advertising and data company. So when you have 3 of those 5 companies going into a massive sell-off, what do you think is going to happen to the other components of FANG or the NASDAQ or the other stocks out there? You're going to see the whole market begin to go into a correction. And then the final company I want to bring into this is Tesla. For the first time, Tesla is facing reality of the fact that they're an unprofitable company and Moody's has downgraded their debt. So there's actually talk out there as well about Tesla possibly going bankrupt or not being able to repay their debt that they owe. And so for the first time, Tesla shareholders are going, what are we going to do here? Because Tesla does not have the means to turn a profit. We are hearing about production delays with their vehicles, and there was another deadly crash with one of their vehicles. So a lot of bad news surrounding Tesla stock, and we saw that stock also go into a sell-off recently. And then all of these components tied in together and caused a sell-off with the tech stocks. And it really comes down to the fact that many of the market bellwethers went into a sell-off. And as a result, you're going to see a broad market correction taking place. When you have Facebook, Google, Amazon, Boeing, all of these stocks falling at the exact same time, the whole market is going to come down with it. Now, is this all going to blow over, or are we going to see a trade war that's going to cause the stock market crash of 2018? I have no idea. Nobody really has any idea. And I just want you guys to understand that you shouldn't worry about that. Instead, you should realize that you have to learn how to make money when the markets go up and when the markets go down. And if you're nervous, if you're worried about a market crash, you need to stop looking at your computer, trying to figure out what will cause it, and instead learn about how to make money in a bear market. That's the best piece of advice I can give you guys. But anyways, this is not my typical style of video here talking about news or current events, but I just wanted to talk about it because so many people are talking to me in my private Facebook group or sending me emails or leaving comments about a stock market crash, and I just felt it needed to be addressed. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. If you're looking to learn more about investing in the stock market, check out my free course on how to find a great investment. I'll link that up in the description below. But I thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.